Good Saturday morning, your line coming with Outlook for November 23rd, 2024. Looking towards Turkey Day, only about 5 days away before you better get that turkey in the oven. Anyway, it's going to be a chilly day. Highs today we get up around 50, but the winds will make it feel a little cooler. See the tight winds, all the storminess is working its way out, and that's going to set us up for about 50 degrees today. The winds will die off tonight. Tomorrow it's looking nice and mild. We will get into the mid-50s tomorrow, light winds, beautiful day. If you haven't got your Christmas decorations up outdoors, tomorrow's the day to do it, or even up through Tuesday, because after that, I think it's going to get a little cold if you're out there. I'll probably still be doing a little bit of stuff past Tuesday myself, but anyway, we'll see. On Monday night, we're going to see some showers, so we're going to see that here as we move forward. This is southerly winds, so I mean, obviously tomorrow and the next day are going to be nice and mild, and then as we see these showers come through on Tuesday, Monday night, early Tuesday morning, that's still going to be a warm day. We're still on the southerly side. This low pressure system is going to be pulling up some winds from the south, but a front's going to be coming through that day. We get kind of breezy, and then it gets chillier by the time we get into Wednesday. We get into this cool air. Again, we are now, see the low to the north, we get high over top, so these are northerly winds. It's going to chill us down a little bit. Wednesday will be in the 40s, so a little chillier, and then as we get into Thursday, so we're moving forward, here's Wednesday, as I mentioned, we do see the storminess coming towards us with chilly conditions, but this is not an ideal setup. If you wanted to see snow, you need a high-pressure system up here to the north to get us a snowstorm. And originally, at one point, there was this, but this kind of broke it apart. Upper-level lows here up in the north is not going to do much for keeping the cold air trapped. But we are very borderline here on the cold air. So even though we may not be perfectly set up, I think it'll be a chilly rain, unfortunately, on Thanksgiving Day. Is the way it looks like. I mean, exactly how this pans out, it's still a little bit questionable because there's two waves of low pressure system here, and how they interact and what they do could be interesting. But what I will tell you is this first wave comes through. It does have, again, a northerly component on the backside. Between two low pressures, there's always a little bit of high pressure. We also get some closer, what we call confluence, or building of a little bit of high up here. Again, between two lows, you're going to get a little bit of a high pressure. So if these lows are down here, we get a little bit of high pressure to the north. That's kind of important because it's going to aid north of us, with a little bit of snow here. But this low is a little more interesting. It all depends on how these things pan out. Even with this low up here, which isn't ideal, it could knock the temperatures down just cold enough that we could see some rain, snow mix as we head into Friday. So here we are on Black Friday. This is showing a very rainy scenario, especially southern Virginia. The mountains are seeing snow again. Cold air is very close by. The coldest of air that needs to slip in here to give us snow hasn't made it here yet, and that's probably what's going to cause us not to really see much of anything. Maybe some rain and snow mix. You see the lows, they're kind of sprawled out, but here's that high that I mentioned between two lows. You're going to get a little bit of a high to form. Here's the high. It's a little too far east for it to snow. What I'm trying to tell you is these are all tenuous kind of situations. A little bit of change could actually mean a little bit of difference as far as things work out. Now, obviously, I would favor to say, hey, unlikely that we're going to see anything white really around Thanksgiving or the day after. But it's been teasing on and off, that maybe there could be something here on the American model. It's not perfect as far as the setup, but it is trying to build some cold air. And so, with that in mind, we may see rain change to snow briefly. We'll have to see. I mean, here we are. We're on the borderline. Mountains definitely see some snow. This isn't a major accumulation situation by any means. Ooh, I jumped way ahead. So here we go back through. Sorry, we click up topic and jump ahead. So you see kind of slipping off and finally bringing in a little bit of cool air, so we kind of turn over to snow. So if this happens, it would be late on Friday or sometime that maybe we could see a little bit of snow mix in, but I think it may be just too warm before the real cold air settles in. And this is a real chilly push. We've got cold air slipping down from Canada, strong northwesterly winds, low up in Canada, bringing the cold air down towards us. A big low off the east coast. This is going to tighten up our winds from the north. Next weekend, 30s, low 40s, maybe as highs, maybe even a little chillier than that. We'll have to see as we go into the early part of the following week. So it looks really cold as we start December. These are cold heights for us. No real storminess in sight as far as potential wintry weather. There is a clipper or some type of energy moving towards us, but it kind of dries out here on this map. At one time, showed potentially maybe something in for us. This is a really cold, very strong 1054 high. So this is bringing cold air, Arctic cold air into the United States. We're at very low heights. So again, as we go into that first week of December, we're up to the 2nd of December. So it's a little farther out, by the way, than where we would say we've got all the maps right and everything else. But it does look really, really cold, well below normal. I do think, as we see here, things will break down. We get a low crashing into the west coast of the United States, not being forced up into the north. This is going to break down things, and it's going to bring a troughiness into the west, or a dip in the jet stream in the west, which means this is going to move out. So it's going to push things out of the way. And that's what the models are kind of showing, that it's going to slowly relax. It's going to take a while. I mean, this is late into, a week of the first week of December, but things would shift pretty dramatically here. It looks like the end, as we get, our cold air kind of retreats, although here it shows a reinforcing shot of cold air. So we'll have to see. So maybe it warms up for a bit, and then maybe it cools back off. We'll have to see. But this is so far out there, I wouldn't even trust it. To me, this looks more zonal, milder pattern would set up. But with the cold air not too far away, it wouldn't take much to jostle and change things. But I don't think it will. The way things look like, it'll be cold, at least through the first week of December, and then turn around. We'll have to watch. Sometimes energy isn't picked up properly by jet streams. But this isn't a real snowy, wintry weather pattern. The orientation for the low pressure systems is way offshore for East Coast lows. So unless we get something on the front end, which we saw that potentially Thursday, Friday, I think after that it just turns dry and cold for a good period of time. That's a long explanation. Just really quick, let me look at the Euro. This is last night's run. We're going to go ahead and quickly go through this just to show you. It too, here's the showers and stuff coming through. This is on Tuesday, early morning. Again, we're kind of warmish, and then the cooler air starts to settle in. This takes a little bit longer for the cool air to get here. But Thursday, again, here's the storminess on it. It's a little further north. So again, it looks wet, not white. Wet, not wintry. But it does now have this follow-up wave, which it originally wasn't really doing. This follow-up wave is a little further north and west and a lot more packed with moisture, which would be very welcome, even though it's ruining your shopping experience. We need the rain still in the area. But as it moves up into New England, this is the big low that's going to bring in the cold air on the back side. And here comes the cold temperatures as well. So very, very cold conditions following. So this is European. Now here's the difference. This is what I wanted to show. Here's on the 2nd of December, maybe something getting together a little more convoluted and a reinforcing shot of colder air. Will it bring some flurries into action for us? It would be interesting. Look at this. It's snow down into North Carolina. Not out of the question. This could happen. If that thing really ramps itself up early, it could be interesting for us. But it's not the best. It's a positively tilted low. It's not going to bring it back into the coast and be some big snowstorm. But if that thing comes north, that could be a little bit interesting. It's still cold, 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 just like the GFS. There's another little front and some cool air. But, I mean, we're way out there now. So, again, this doesn't look like a super cold pattern after the first week of December. But it doesn't look like it's going to super warm up either. All right, that was a super long outlook, and I did super so many times in the end of it. Hope you have an awesome weekend. Being your Loudoun County Weather Outlook. Look forward to cold air. So, do get your hose bibs and stuff winterized if you haven't done it, and try to get those decorations up. But make sure they're secured down because it's really windy too by next weekend and cold. Have a good one.